What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Wednesday. I hope that everyone is enjoying their lovely hump day. But anywho, let's get into the hot topics. Now let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan Thee Stallion apparently has partnered up with Popeyes because apparently she's going to have her own Popeyes location built really soon. Well, apparently the H-Town hottie is stepping out on her own and building her own chicken shack. So apparently just yesterday, Meg donned a hard hat and joined the construction crew for a tour at her developing Popeyes location. Alright, so apparently, judging from the early odds, Meg's Popeyes will be one big party, and the head guy on the ground assured her there would be sound speakers throughout the Houston, Texas building, and the video trails off with Meg inquiring about space for a dance floor. Alright, so apparently Meg also appeared to model the new wave of Popeyes merch as she was decked out in an orange hat and custom colored fire extinguisher to match. And this is all according to TMZ. So this is really amazing that Megan Thee Stallion is going to have her own Popeyes location because, I mean, this means that she's going to have her own Popeyes location out of her own style and everyone's going to enjoy it and go in there and party and have some really good chicken and, you know, have a way better time at that Popeyes than any other Popeyes location. And who knows, maybe even that Popeyes location is going to have some unique tastes when it comes to their chicken, because I believe that Megan Thee Stallion also wants a lot of people to be attending the Popeyes location after all. And you know, there have been some criticisms here and there for years now that the Popeyes locations have not been serving really good chicken. So that's the reason to why I'm saying this. I think that Megan Thee Stallion is going to kill it in the inauguration of this Popeyes location once it's built and once it's open, that she is going to have a really good time. And of course, she will for sure maybe throw a little private concert in that location, because that location is basically going to be hers, and she's basically gonna, you know, gonna call a lot of Megan Thee Stallion fans to especially go to that location, so that way that location can make a lot of money and also maybe boost up the company of Popeyes, so that way Popeyes can be even more successful than it already has been with their business. So I believe that Megan Thee Stallion is pretty much being really good to the Popeyes locations, not just to that one that's being built over in Houston, Texas. And also she's basically giving them a lot of convenience financially, because let's remember that Megan Thee Stallion is huge and she is super well known. And since she is huge and super well known, of course a lot of people are going to get convinced into going to the Popeyes location that's going to be open and built soon. Alright, so anyways, I think, in my opinion, that to those of you guys that have not tasted Popeyes, or to those of you guys that think that Popeyes is gross, I think, in my opinion, that you guys should give Popeyes a second chance now that this new location is going to be up over in Houston. Okay, I'm just saying, you guys should not go off and give up, or you guys should not go off and be like, no, maybe not, because I mean, that's going to ruin your chances to go over into that Houston location. Okay, and I'm not trying to tell y'all to be flying all the way down to Houston, because I mean, I can imagine how much of a time that would be having to fly all the way down to Houston from wherever you guys are living and from wherever you guys are from. But what I am trying to say though is that if you guys really want to, then go ahead and fly all the way down to Houston, you know. And to those of you guys that live nearby where that new Popeyes is going to be built, then you guys are so lucky to go all the way down there and have a really good time and this and that. Now, I'm already imagining how this new Popeyes is going to look like. I'm imagining that this new Popeyes is going to look like a freaking dance club. It's going to have a disco ball. It's going to have a DJ. It's going to have a lot of Megan Thee Stallion inspired decorations in there. I can imagine the boost seats are going to look really flashy and really hip hoppy, and then the tables and chairs are going to look the same too. And then I can imagine that the dance floor is going to look really huge, and then I can imagine that a bunch of the people that are going to work there are going to not just serve chicken. I can imagine that they might be going to even serve alcohol too. so that way people can for real go in there and have a really good time. So there's also that, and then maybe there's gonna be a bar in there too, and maybe there's gonna be flat screen TVs with really good soccer and football games for all of the men out there that want to be watching all of that. She's basically gonna turn that Popeyes into a freaking Buffalo Wild Wings, if I'm not mistaken, because honestly, I think that that's the type of life that I think Megan Thee Stallion wants to bring, because I can tell that Megan Thee Stallion comes from that type of life, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that she's just coming from that type of life, and to me, it's actually pretty interesting, and it's really amazing after all. So Megan Thee Stallion, I congratulate you for the inauguration and the opening of this new Popeyes that's gonna come really soon, and yeah. But anyways, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about RFK Jr. So RFK Jr. is at it again with his stupidity. Well, apparently this time he's coming for the stuff in your tap water, claiming fluoride is basically brain poison, especially for kids. Alright, so apparently during a White House cabinet meeting Wednesday, RFK Jr. went off the deep end, proclaiming he and his team are pushing to change federal regulations over fluoride in drinking water because, according to him, the science apparently shows a link between fluoride exposure and low IQ in kids. So in the Health and Human Services Secretary's own words about fluoride today, the more you get, the stupider you are, adding that America needs smart kids, not ones being dumbed down by their drinking water. So apparently, yup, he said all that with a straight face and zero hesitation after kicking off the topic by backing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, saying he's pretty sure he'd sign off on the state's new bill to ditch supplemental fluoride from drinking water. Alright, so anyways, for the record, mainstream health experts including the CDC, the WHO, and 8AA still widely support fluoridation as a safe, effective way to prevent tooth decay, and fluoride's been added to the water supply in American states since the 1940s, and this is all according to TMZ. Okay, this is really insane that RFK Jr. is saying that tap water is very dangerous, especially for the kids, because this just comes to show how stupid he is, because tap water is healthy. Any type of water is healthy as long as it's clean. Okay, and we've been drinking tap water for how long now? For a very long time, and I haven't seen any signs of anybody getting affected by any of this. He's just saying all of this because he just doesn't know what else to say, and apparently he just wants to be calling his freaking attention. This is the same person that went off and criticized people with autism, saying that people with autism can't have a personal life of their own, and they can't get married, and they can't get this and that, and when in reality people with autism can achieve a lot of things in life. Alright, now this to me also scares me that all of these things are coming from somebody that is the head of the health department, or the secretary of the health department, because we need somebody that is actually smart enough and that's actually informed well on what they should do for our nation, especially in the health side of it all, so that way we can all be safe and we can all, basically live a really healthy life, and, also be aware of all of the things that go on in our nation, including viruses and whatnot. And this man is just not really doing a good job in all of that because of his stupidity. So it really does not surprise me at all that this guy got hired by Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is another stupid person that is in office right now that doesn't know what he's saying, he doesn't know what he's doing, and of course he even went off and hired Elon Musk, who is also another dummy that apparently doesn't even know how to really take charge in office, okay? So yeah. So anyways, with all of that being said, I believe that this right here is just a bunch of reality show stunts from RFK Jr., and it really saddens me that this guy, by the way, is coming from the Kennedy family, which, by the way, is a family of Democrats who, by the way, knew America well. They knew how America got to stand. They really knew their values, their morals, and etc., etc. And now this man, RFK Jr., is over here trashing the Kennedy family. He's over here dirtying up the Kennedy family with all of what he's been saying and all of what he's been doing. And to me, that's also a huge embarrassment after all. Like, how dare he? He might as well just quit his position, and he might as well just hide in a freaking cave and cry all day long. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. So there won't be a first dance for Selena Gomez and fiance Benny Blanco, and no, it's not because they're trying to be edgy, or worse, because the wedding's off. It's basically because Selena spilled the tea on the Table Manners podcast with Jesse and Lenny Wars, that admitting that having all eyes on her would probably make her feel a bit embarrassed, hence no first dance. Alright, so apparently Benny chimed in to cutting to the chase. It's simply because Selena's a bit shy. However, Selena will be putting her timid girl vibes on pause for one moment. She's planning a special dance with her grandpa on her mom's side, since he missed out on walking her mom down the aisle thanks to a quickie Vegas wedding. Alright, so apparently it looks like wedding plannings in full swing. Selena revealed they'll be keeping things festive with the classic from Benny's Jewish roots, the hora, aka the chair dance. Alright, so this is really amazing, and this is all according to TMZ. So I think that it's perfectly fine that Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are not going to have their first dance, as long as they are a happy couple and as long as they are keeping everything well between them, especially because I think that as long as they are keeping everything well, they are gonna last, they are gonna be there for each other for a lifetime, and there won't be anybody nor anything getting in their way. Okay? And since wedding plans are already on the table, then I think that the wedding is gonna come really soon. Maybe next year, maybe later this year, maybe 2027, who knows? Because when we are talking about wedding plans, usually that comes really soon. That doesn't come like light years away. That doesn't come a long time ago from now. No. And with all of that being said, I can tell that Selena Gomez is really in love with this guy, and Benny Blanco is really in love with Selena. And that there's actually a connection, there's actually chemistry, there's actually peacefulness going on, and that there is no stupidity and there is no drama like there was in between Selena and Justin years behind. Okay, and I do think that Selena's emotional health has been perfectly fine ever since she's been dating Benny, because I noticed that ever since she's been dating Benny, Selena Gomez has been looking very happy. She's been looking really peaceful. She's been looking like she's actually been enjoying life like it should be, and I'm happy for her, because I really was really sad about seeing Selena Gomez really sad all these years, especially back when she was dating Justin Bieber. And you know, things got really close and really good that now Selena and Benny have released an album together like a month ago, which by the way is doing really good in the charts right now. And possibly Selena and Benny might tour together to promote this album too, which I believe would be even better. But you know, touring plans I believe have not been in the table as of now, but it would be nice though. Okay, so anyways, I'm happy for this couple. I'm really happy that they are keeping everything the way it should be. And yeah, but anywho, that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.